Hello there, very good evening and welcome to your Primetime News Bulletin. I'm Shane Silva.
I'm Mahina Bongzo. As usual, we start off with a look at your headlines.
Supreme Court orders the UGC to increase the number of students being enrolled into universities. The women's hostel at the Maharagama Teacher Training School in darkness for a fifth consecutive day. American ambassador to Libya killed in a rocket attack. And Paralympic medalist Pradeep Sanjay receives a red carpet welcome at the Katunayaka Airport.
The main indices at the Colombo Stock Exchange climbed considerably by the close of trading today. At the end of trading, the all-share price index had gained 1.38%, while the more liquid Milanka price index had gained 1.7%. Speaking at a media briefing in Colombo today, Dr. Harsha De Silva expressed these views on the current growth in the Colombo Stock Exchange.
The problems at the Colombo Stock Exchange came to light, and with that, the administration of the Securities and Exchange Commission changed completely. The stock exchange fell and is now climbing rapidly. With the new appointments, not only did they capture the commission, they appointed the godfathers of the mafia as regulators. So what is happening now can be equated to asking a rogue's mother to point him out. I do not see the revelations made to the public being investigated in any way.
Meanwhile, Dr. Harsha De Silva also expressed these views over the phone regarding reports that the CSE has been placed third among the fastest growing exchanges in the world over the past 4 weeks.
I will not be surprised by week after next if it would be the top performing market in the world, because the same pump and dump is happening once again. I mean, it is ridiculous if people can't see what is happening. So, if the market continues to go up like this, there is nowhere else for it to go but down after the tide turns. So, in the short term, certain people will mint money. That will happen. And it is a zero-sum game in the secondary market. People mustn't forget that if somebody makes money, somebody loses. So therefore, what will happen when this tide turns the next time around, it will be worse than the last time. I hope at that time, people will not come crying saying, look, how did this happen again?
The Supreme Court today ordered the University Grants Commission to enroll an additional 5,609 students who qualified at the 2011 Advanced Level Examination to the next academic year in universities. The order was issued when the petition pertaining to EZ scores at the 2011 A-Level Examination was taken up for consideration today.
A large number of students gathered at the Supreme Court today as well in anticipation of a resolution to the problems surrounding the EZ scores. The petitions were considered before a 3-member bench comprising of Chief Justice Dr. Shirani Bandaranaike and Justices K. Sri Pavan and Nimal Gamini Amaratunga. The solutions presented in the report prepared by the University Grants Commission, the Attorney General's Department and the lawyers representing the students as a final resolution to the issue came under discussion in court today. The bench had focused its attention on the third proposal contained in the report, which was to enroll more students to universities. The 3-member bench decreed that candidates who sat for the examination for a third time in 2011 and candidates who did not show up for the examination be allowed to resit the examination in 2013. The court also decreed that although 21,500 students are usually enrolled to universities annually, this number should be increased by 5,609 students this time around. Accordingly, while 681 students will be enrolled from the art stream, the balance 4,928 students will be enrolled from other streams. Meanwhile, court also allowed the chairman of the University Grants Commission, Professor Gamini Samaranayake, who is facing charges of contempt of court, to make a statement under oath.
Who will form a government in the Eastern Province following the concluded Provincial Council poll? This question has led to much speculation across the political spectrum. Let's take a look at an analysis of the current situation.
Collectively, the opposition political parties secured the majority of seats in the Eastern Provincial Council at the recently concluded poll. These parties are the Ilange Tamil Arsu Katchi, the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress, the United National Party and the National Freedom Front. Collectively, these parties secured 411,167 votes. The United People's Freedom Alliance secured 200,044 votes. Accordingly, if the opposition parties do not form a coalition, then the UPFA can make a request to the governor to form a government. In addition, when considering the possibility of the opposition parties forming a coalition, there are numerous methods in which this could happen. However, the debatable question here is whether the SLMC will join a coalition in order to form a government in the eastern province.
The
UPFA has obtained 14 seats. They have a right to ask the governor to allow them to form a government if the opposition parties do not form any alliances. The TNA has 11 seats, the SLMC has 7. Together they have 18 seats. They too can ask the governor to allow them to form a government. The UNP has 4 seats. If the TNA and the SLMC join up with the UNP, they have a clear majority of 22 seats.
මේ පක්ෂ තුන සන්ධානගත වුණොත් පැහැදිලි බහුතරයක් ලැබෙනවා ආසන 22ක්. එක්සත් ජනතා නිදහස් සන්ධානයත් ආසන 14ක් තිබෙනවා.
The UPFA has 14 seats, the SLMC has 7 seats and the NFF, which contested alone for the first time, has 1 seat. If these three parties join together, they too have a total of 22 seats.
වුණොත් ඒ ආසන 22ක් ලැබෙනවා. මා හිතන්නේ මුස්ලිම් කොංග්‍රසය
The Muslim Congress, which holds a ministerial post within the government, contesting separately for the election, shows that they oppose the policies of the government.
ආණ්ඩුවට විපක්ෂව තම ඡන්ද ව්‍යාපාරය ගෙන ගිය බව.
We saw what happened in those elections due to the post-war euphoria. Although there are those who would say that the election result can be overturned through threats, we can see an environment today where none of this will happen. Today, we wonder what would happen if we had decided to contest under the betel leaf. We are ashamed to have even spoken of this. Some might be of the view that the Muslim Congress can be softened in various ways through threats or indirectly. But after this election victory, the SLMC would be required to fall in line and work accordingly. We have experienced this. But after this election, the people will no longer approve of this. We must prepare the people for this. If anyone leaves the party, it will be for ministerial posts and nothing else. Meanwhile, the Ilange Tamil Arsu Katchi issued an invitation to the SLMC recently to form a government. When speaking about the post of Chief Minister, we are prepared to give the first term of the 5-year tenure of Chief Minister to a Muslim candidate and the second term to one of our representatives. We must also remember that the Tamil National Alliance is a broad political topic. Therefore, we are hoping to act responsibly at this decisive juncture. The people are hoping that we will diffuse the tensions between the communities and work towards bringing about a permanent solution. The United National Party has already stated that it is prepared to consider forming a coalition with the Ilange Tamil Arsu Katchi. Both the UPFA and ITAC will be hoping to secure support of the SLMC in order to form a government in the Eastern Provincial Council. But will the SLMC, which separated from the alliance to contest the election, rejoin the alliance at this moment? 123,000 people did not vote for the SLMC so that the SLMC leader could join the government. It would be unethical if the SLMC joined the government. That is why the TNA is important. It was the hope of former leader M.H.M. Ashraf to have a Muslim chief minister and a Tamil-speaking administration. This is a good opportunity to realize that aspiration. Amidst all the problems which are being faced, and after securing so many votes, the TNA has said that it will give the position of chief minister to a Muslim. And the TNA has said that if you have any more demands, then tell us. Like it or not, the Muslim and Tamil people have to live together. This is a good opportunity for the Tamil and Muslim people to get together and show the world that they can live together and work together, that they can have autonomous administration. If the Muslim Congress doesn't make the correct choice, there could be major issues in the future.
මේ තීන්දුව අර ආකාර මුස්ලිම් කොංග්‍රසයේ ගත්තේ නැත්නම් අනාගතේ ලොකු ප්‍රශ්නයක් ඇති වෙන්න පුළුවන්.
මුස්ලිම් කොංග්‍රසයේ මේක චංචල වස්තුවක්. මේකට ඕනෑම කෙනෙක් ගාවට යන්න පුළුවන් හැකියාව තියෙනවා.
The Muslim Congress can travel towards any side. Historically, the SLMC has moved from position to position. Let's see where the driver of this vehicle takes it towards this time around.
රියදුරු මෙවර මෙය ගෙන යන්නේ කුමන ස්ථානයකටද කියලා.
In other local stories, 2 youth were killed and 2 others were injured when a jeep crashed into a tree in the Tissamaharama area. According to the police, the driver of the vehicle had fled the scene of the accident.
The accident, which took place at around 11:45 last night in Debaravawa, Tissamaharama, claimed the lives of 2 youth who were travelling in the safari jeep. The vehicle had crashed into a combo tree, killing the 2 youths on the spot. The postmortems on the 2 victims were held at the Tissamaharama hospital today. The victims have been identified as 2 17-year-old boys from Gangavalluana, Debaravawa and Gamanupura, Kirindioya. According to the police, the accident could have taken place because of drunk driving as well as excessive speeding. Over the past few days, several tragic motor accidents were reported from around the country due to drunk driving. Such an accident occurred on the 10th of this month when 2 females were killed in close proximity to the Jayala police station. A mother and daughter who were attempting to cross the road lost their lives when they were run over by a private bus. According to the police, the bus driver had been drunk and did not possess a driver's license. Several reports of tragic accidents involving buses were reported to us in the recent past. On the 9th of this month, an individual was run over by a bus in the Minnana area in Ahaliyagoda and another individual suffered injuries in the accident. On the 6th of this month, an accident occurred at the warehouse junction area in Hambantota, injuring 15 trainee nurses. A private bus collided with a motorbike in the Hambulumulla area in Karawanalla on the 3rd of this month, killing 1 individual. Meanwhile, the worst bus accident which occurred in the recent past took place in the Nindavur area in Ampara. A private bus plying from Akkarepattu to Colombo crashed head-on with a 3-wheeler, killing 6 individuals.
Most often, private bus drivers act in an indisciplined manner. The police should take severe action against drunk drivers.
Both state and the private sector should provide training to the drivers and conductors. With the number of accidents involving private buses on the increase, what has the Lanka Private Bus Owners Association done to combat this? This situation has arisen owing to the short-sighted policies of the regulatory authority. There are bus drivers who not only drink and drive but also consume various drugs and drive. I made a written request to the relevant authorities to arrest such drivers and suspend the permits of the owners of those buses. I have the written request with me. We inquired about the matter from the National Transport Commission as well. There are unions in this country and it is their duty to point out any mistakes that we make. But if these unions try to rule over the Transport Commission, then that is wrong. Meanwhile, the police has launched a special 24-hour operation to apprehend drunk drivers. According to police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rohana, the police have so far arrested 200 drunk drivers. If you are a passenger and if the driver is drunk, get off the vehicle. We request you to inform us about such drivers on 119. Passengers travelling in buses should stay alert to protect your life and those of others. According to the police, if an individual is arrested for drunk driving, steps will be taken to punish the offender and also cancel his driving licence.